Before you toss that old cardboard box, pause. What if it could be the key to richer, healthier garden soil? Many gardeners over 60 have quietly used this simple, everyday item to bring tired, lifeless soil back to life, nurturing plants faster than fancy fertilizers ever could. Just a flat sheet, gently placed, can smother weeds, retain moisture, and feed the earth as it breaks down. It's humble, unassuming, yet incredibly powerful, proof that sometimes the simplest tools carry the greatest wisdom. Watch your garden transform, one sheet at a time. Mrs. Eleanor Hart, 76, has always found peace among her roses. The soft rustle of petals in the morning breeze, the gentle aroma that drifts across her backyard. These are the moments she cherishes most. Widowed for over a decade, gardening became more than a hobby. It was her sanctuary, her quiet companion, and a way to keep her late husband's memory alive. Growing up in a generation that saved everything, Eleanor learned early on the value of practicality. Nothing went to waste in her family, not even the simplest cardboard box. Her father used to layer it under vegetable patches, teaching her that the humblest materials often hide the greatest benefits. For Eleanor, cardboard was never just packaging, it was a secret ingredient, too useful to throw away. Yet, when she inherited her own backyard, she faced a challenge that no sentimental value could fix: clay-heavy, compacted soil that refused to nourish her beloved roses. Year after year, she watered, fertilized, and fussed over her plants, only to see drooping stems and lackluster blooms. The frustration was real, but so was her determination. One morning, while sorting through a stack of old cardboard, Eleanor remembered her father's words. "Layer it, don't bury it. Let it do its quiet work." She carefully cut the sheets to fit between her rose beds, laying them flat over the hard soil. Over the weeks, she watered lightly and let nature take its course. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the soil began to loosen, absorb water better, and cradle the roots of her roses. By summer, the difference was undeniable. Roses that had once struggled to push through heavy clay now reached toward the sun with vibrant petals and healthy foliage. Eleanor's neighbors, curious about the sudden revival, often stopped to ask what had changed. She'd smile, a twinkle in her eye, and point to the unassuming sheets of cardboard quietly doing their work beneath the surface. For Eleanor, this simple method wasn't just about gardening. It was a lesson in patience, resourcefulness, and the wisdom passed down through generations. It reminded her that sometimes the solutions to our problems aren't found in expensive fertilizers or complex techniques, but in the quiet, humble practices we grew up with. Her story is a nod to every senior who remembers a time when saving, layering, and reusing weren't just habits, they were lifelines. And now, her backyard isn't just a garden. It's a living memory, a testament to the wisdom of the past, and proof that even in later years, the earth can surprise you with beauty when you give it the care and the cardboard it deserves. Why cardboard works? The humble hero of healthy soil. Cardboard might seem ordinary, even mundane, but in the garden, it's quietly powerful. For seniors like Mrs. Eleanor Hart, it's not just a recycled box. It's a trusted ally that transforms tired, compacted soil into a thriving, fertile foundation for flowers, vegetables, and herbs. Understanding why cardboard works can help you use it safely and effectively, giving your garden a boost without chemicals or expensive products. First, cardboard breaks down naturally and slowly. Unlike synthetic mulches that sit on the surface or fertilizers that feed quickly and fade, cardboard decomposes over time, releasing nutrients gently into the soil. This slow breakdown helps improve soil texture and fertility, making it softer and easier for roots to grow. For older gardeners, this means less heavy digging and healthier plants that flourish with minimal strain on the gardener. Another benefit is its ability to smother weeds without chemicals. Simply laying sheets over the soil blocks sunlight, stopping unwanted plants from growing. Unlike herbicides, this method is safe for humans, pets, and the delicate ecosystem in your backyard. No harsh smells, no risk of skin irritation, just a simple, effective barrier that lets your roses, vegetables, or perennials thrive. Cardboard also encourages earthworms, nature's own gardeners. Earthworms are drawn to the glue in plain cardboard, And as they burrow and digest the material, they aerate the soil and enrich it with their castings. This natural activity improves soil structure, water retention, and nutrient availability, creating a healthy environment for plants to grow. Watching worms work beneath your hands can also be a quiet, satisfying reminder of the hidden life supporting your garden. Speaking of moisture, cardboard helps soil hold water. By acting as a protective layer over the soil, it slows evaporation and keeps the ground consistently damp. This is especially helpful for seniors who may not be able to water frequently. Moisture-loving plants, like roses or leafy greens, benefit from this consistent hydration, leading to stronger roots and more vibrant growth. Over time, as cardboard decomposes, it turns into humus, rich, dark organic matter that nourishes the soil and improves its fertility. Humus holds nutrients, supports microorganisms, and enhances soil structure, ensuring that your garden continues to thrive year after year. Think of it as nature's own slow-release fertilizer, quietly feeding your plants without the need for synthetic chemicals. Important safety note: to ensure success and safety, always use plain brown cardboard only. Remove all tape, staples, and glossy ink, as these can contain chemicals that harm the soil or plants. Stick to simple boxes, cereal packaging without plastic coatings, or plain office cardboard, and your garden will thank you. Step 1. Lay the cardboard. Now that you understand why cardboard works so wonderfully in the garden, it's time to see it in action. The first step, laying the cardboard, is simple, yet it sets the foundation for everything that comes next. Take it slowly, enjoy the process. And remember, each sheet you place is a step toward healthier, more vibrant soil. Start by flattening the cardboard completely. Boxes often come folded or bent, so smooth them out as much as possible. The flatter the sheets, the better they will lay against the soil, creating a seamless layer that weeds won't easily penetrate. For seniors, this is an easy, meditative task. Take your time, feel the texture of the cardboard, and enjoy connecting with the materials your garden will thrive on. Next, overlap the edges by 3 to 4 inches. You don't want gaps where weeds could sneak through, so give each sheet a generous overlap. Think of it like tucking a quilt over your garden beds. Every edge matters. The overlaps also help the cardboard break down naturally in place, forming a continuous layer that nurtures the soil beneath. Once your cardboard is in position, lightly wet it. Use a watering can or gentle hose. Spray to moisten the sheets so they settle in and stay put. Wetting the cardboard helps it conform to the contours of your soil and encourages faster decomposition. Once it's down, be careful not to soak it into a soggy mess. Just a gentle, even dampening is enough. It's important that the cardboard touches the soil directly. Lift any plants or rocks carefully, smooth the soil beneath, and make sure there are no air pockets. Direct contact allows the cardboard to smother weeds effectively, retain moisture, and start feeding the soil as it breaks down. Even small gaps or raised sections can reduce its effectiveness, so take a moment to smooth it out before moving on. If you're working with larger garden beds, consider cutting the cardboard into manageable pieces. Smaller sections are easier to handle, less heavy, and reduce strain on your back or shoulders. A helpful tip for senior gardeners: arrange each piece carefully, and remember that perfection isn't necessary. A few small overlaps or tiny gaps won't ruin the process. As you lay the cardboard, notice how it transforms the look of your garden bed instantly. What was once bare, compacted soil now has a clean, even layer ready for the next steps. There's something quietly satisfying about this visual change, a reminder that even small actions can lead to meaningful results. Finally, take a deep breath and enjoy this moment. You've taken the first real step toward rejuvenating your garden, just as countless gardeners before you did. Remember, flat, overlapped, lightly dampened, and in direct contact with soil. This is the golden formula for step 1. Each sheet you place carries the promise of richer, softer soil, thriving plants, and the quiet satisfaction of doing something right for your garden and for yourself. Step 2. Add organic layers, the lasagna of gardening. Once your cardboard is laid carefully on the soil, it's time to build the nourishing layers that make your garden bed thrive. This is where the magic of lasagna gardening comes alive. Each layer works in harmony to feed the soil, retain moisture, and create a rich environment for your plants. For seniors, this step is both practical and deeply satisfying, a way to turn kitchen scraps and garden waste into living, fertile soil. Start with your first layer, cardboard. This is the base, already in place from step 1. It suppresses weeds, holds moisture, and will slowly decompose, feeding the soil beneath. Next, add a thin layer of kitchen scraps. Think vegetable peels, coffee grounds, or fruit skins. These are excellent sources of nutrients. But avoid meat, dairy, or oily foods, as they can attract pests and slow decomposition. Spread the scraps evenly over the cardboard, keeping the layer light and manageable. This is a wonderful way to make your garden feel connected to your home. What you discard becomes nourishment for new life. On top of the kitchen scraps, add a layer of leaves or straw. This organic matter adds bulk, helps retain moisture, and encourages beneficial microbes and earthworms to flourish. Leaves from your backyard are perfect, but straw works beautifully as well, providing structure and airflow to the soil layers. This layer also adds a visual softness to your garden bed, making it look cared for and inviting. The next layer is compost or aged manure. This is the powerhouse layer, packed with nutrients ready to feed your plants. Use well-aged manure to avoid burning delicate roots, and spread a thin, even layer. If compost is homemade, ensure it's fully broken down and crumbly, rich, dark, and fragrant. This layer accelerates soil health, helping your plants grow stronger, flowers bloom brighter, and vegetables yield more abundantly. Finally, finish with a top layer of mulch, such as bark chips, wood chips, or shredded leaves. This final layer protects the underlying materials, keeps soil moisture consistent, and provides a tidy, attractive finish. It also prevents erosion, reduces weeds, and keeps your soil warm and cooler. Months, a critical benefit for older gardeners who want low-maintenance yet productive beds. As you add each layer, take a moment to appreciate the rhythm and purpose behind it. Think of it like building a lasagna, but instead of pasta and sauce, you're stacking nourishment, moisture, and life into the soil. Each layer is a step toward a thriving garden, and every material you place contributes to long-term soil health. Have you ever built soil layers this way? What materials did you use? Share your favorite combination in the comments. I'd love to hear your tips and traditions. With each step, your garden isn't just growing. It's telling a story of patience, care, and the simple, timeless wisdom that transforms everyday materials into flourishing life. How it turns into humus, nature's soil transformation. After laying the cardboard and building your nourishing layers, the next stage is where nature quietly does the work, turning your carefully stacked materials into rich, dark humus. For seniors and anyone new to gardening, this step is as much about patience as it is about understanding the science behind healthy soil. Once the layers are in place, soil microbes, tiny, invisible workers, begin breaking down the organic matter. They feed on the cardboard, kitchen scraps, leaves, and compost, slowly transforming it into nutrient-rich material. Think of these microbes as the silent chefs of your garden, working steadily to mix, digest, and release nourishment into the soil. Meanwhile, earthworms join the effort. They are nature's tillers, pulling bits of cardboard and decomposing plant matter downward. As they tunnel through the soil, their movements aerate the ground, mix the layers, and leave behind castings, tiny bundles of concentrated nutrients that plants love. Watching worms wriggle and disappear into the soil may seem simple, but it's proof that life is thriving beneath your fingertips. Over time, weeks to months, depending on weather and the materials used, the layers begin to soften. Cardboard becomes flexible and crumbly. Leaves and straw shrink and blend, and compost integrates into a uniform, dark, fragrant humus. This transformation is gentle and natural, reflecting the patient rhythm of the earth. There's no need for chemical accelerators or complex machinery. Nature does it all if given the right conditions. As the humus develops, plants find it much easier to root and grow. The soft, crumbly soil allows roots to penetrate deeply, improving water absorption and nutrient uptake. Flowers bloom brighter, vegetables grow sturdier, and your garden thrives with minimal extra effort. This stage is particularly rewarding. For seniors, it's tangible. Proof that careful preparation and consistent care yield real results. Within a few weeks, you'll notice improved soil texture, softer, darker, and more porous. Full humus development usually takes a few months, though exact timing depends on weather, soil type, and the organic materials you used. The process is gradual, but each day, your garden bed becomes healthier and more resilient. Humus isn't just soil, it's a living ecosystem. It holds moisture, stores nutrients, encourages beneficial microbes, and supports all the plants above it. For anyone nurturing a garden later in life, it's a reminder that even simple, humble materials like cardboard, leaves, and kitchen scraps can create profound, lasting change. Take time to observe, touch, and enjoy the soil. Notice its rich, earthy smell, the softness under your hands, and the little life forms that make it flourish. This is the quiet reward of patience and care, a garden that's not only productive but alive in every sense, reflecting your effort, wisdom, and connection to the natural world. Months after laying her cardboard and building her layered garden bed, Mrs. Eleanor Hart began to notice subtle but meaningful changes. The soil that once felt like heavy clay and resisted her trowel became soft and easy to dig, almost like a gentle cushion for her hands. The weeds, which had previously competed with her roses for light and water, appeared less frequently, giving her plants more room to thrive. Even during the hot summer months, the soil held moisture much better, protecting the roots from drying out and reducing the need for constant watering. And most importantly to Mrs. Hart, her roses, once struggling and sparse, grew fuller, healthier, and more vibrant, their petals brightening her garden and lifting her spirits. These results weren't instant, but they were real and rewarding. The gentle improvements reminded her that gardening is a patient practice, one where care, consistency, and respect for nature pay off over time. Her story is a hopeful example for all seniors, even modest. Simple actions can create lasting, positive change. To ensure your garden succeeds safely, keep a few important points in mind. 1. Avoid glossy or painted cardboard, inks, dyes, and coatings can contain chemicals harmful to soil and plants. Stick to plain brown cardboard. 2. Don't layer too thickly, 1 or 2 sheets are enough to suppress weeds and feed the soil. Thick piles may take too long to decompose and can smother plants. 3. Avoid placing fresh manure directly under roots. It can burn tender roots. Use well-aged compost or manure for safety. 4. Be patient. Soil improvement and humus formation take weeks to months. Avoid expecting overnight results. 5. Keep cardboard away from wooden structures, where termites are a concern. This precaution prevents potential infestations. By following these simple safety measures, your garden remains healthy, productive, and low maintenance, letting you enjoy the process without unintended setbacks. Encourage viewers to share their own experiences and wisdom with prompts like, do you keep cardboard boxes? What do you use them for in your garden? Have you noticed more worms after using cardboard? Share one gardening tip you wish everyone knew. Your wisdom helps others grow too. These prompts invite seniors to comment, connect, and share, creating a sense of community and shared learning. Take a moment to reflect. Your generation grew gardens long before expensive fertilizers existed. Your knowledge, simple, resourceful, and wise, is still the best teacher. If this little cardboard trick brought you a smile or sparked an idea, don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend who loves to grow, and subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, where wisdom never gets old, and every garden has a story worth telling.